Boruto and his buddies are journeying through Ryuchi Cave, and if you're hoping to see a giant snake smoking a pipe and wearing a wig, well, prepare to be disappointed. What's up, my ninjas? It's time for a double dose of Boruto anime reviews, and that's because this week we got 2 episodes. Essentially, this was supposed to be like a 1-hour special, but I can say from personal experience that these episodes were really not that special. I'm gonna make this review a little brief because, 1, I'm busy as shit with life, and frankly, I just don't have that much to say about these 2 episodes right here. In fact, the first episode is something that I completely predicted in a throwaway line in my last review, basically saying that Mogi's team was gonna throw down with Konohamaru's team, and eventually they were just gonna end up working together and go into Ryuchi Cave. And that's exactly what happened. But the good thing is, if you wanted to actually see Boruto and Sarada battle against Shikadai, Inojin, and Chocho, well, you're gonna get it in that episode. But really, it comes down to the fact that there's a little bit of conflict, they get over it, and they end up working together. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Shikamaru has a lot of faith in his son, Shikadai. I actually really liked that aspect of the episode. There's actually a reason why they actually sent that team out there. If anyone's going to be helpful to Boruto in his quest to find Mitsuki, it's going to be Shikadai, and that's because he has a stake in this as well. Mitsuki was also a very good friend of his, and when he realizes what Boruto is actually trying to do, he's like, yeah, it's probably the best decision that I go along with you, mostly because I don't want you to fuck it up. Shikadai's been popping those power of friendship pills, so it makes perfect sense, and honestly, it's going to be really cool to see all these characters coming together. But the next episode is all about going to Ryuchi Cave, which is something that I've been personally really wanting to see for a very long time. It was such an important part of Kabuto and Orochimaru's backstory, and I couldn't wait to see this big mystical place, which ultimately is just a giant cave filled with a fog machine. It's also kind of disappointing in the sense that this entire episode is strikingly similar to a filler episode of Dragon Ball Z. Do any of you guys remember the character of Princess Snake? Well, that's basically what's going on here, except that it's also infiltrated with all sorts of ridiculous Greek puzzles. Basically, Boruto and all of his friends are going to have to journey through this place, and they go up against these snake women. I'm going to call them the Snake Sisters. And they test people and put them through these trials a la Luke Skywalker going through the Tree of Insight. And if they lose, well, the snake people just end up devouring them whole. And if they're able to pass, they can meet the White Snake Sage. And we get to see all of them going through these various trials, whether it be something as simple as simply just recognizing who you are and having confidence in yourself, or playing a ridiculous game where you have to basically put puzzle pieces in place. It just feels kind of disjointed. I don't know. The entire thing wasn't as exciting as I was hoping, but I will say that these snake women are pretty damn terrifying. But eventually we do see the White Snake Sage, and disappointingly, it's not the one that I remember from the original series. In the original flashback, we got to see her as this giant, ridiculous snake, which was hilarious and over the top, but actually kind of went in line with the other Toad Sages that we've seen in the series. I thought it was sort of a nice counterpoint to that. Here we get to see her as just a standard old woman. She seems to be wearing a lot of the similar material, so I'm simply just assuming this is the human form of the White Snake Sage, and she has the ability to transform. That being said, I wanted to see a big, giant kaiju snake. What's up with that? So what's the rundown on both of these episodes of Boruto? They were serviceable, but honestly, I don't know what it was about these 2 episodes, but they felt kind of weak in my opinion. Like I said, the first episode honestly was good in some senses of what it was trying to do. Most of that involved the story of Shikadai, but it's exactly what you would expect. These characters don't necessarily want to have to fight, but they have to do it in order to bring them back to Konoha Village, and they're doing it all just because of orders. But it was only a matter of time before they started working together. It's just kind of cliche in that sense. Also, I have to admit, I'm disappointed in Mogi. She's a Jonin, but she is a completely disappointing character in terms of what she can actually do. She has the miraculous ability to jump through trees, use a kunai, and fire water at people. That's like what every other default ninja in the Naruto series can do. I wish they could have given her something a little more unique. That, and there's a whole scene with her actually fighting against Suigetsu, which is mostly him just trying to distract her so she can allow both of the teams to come together and work together, which leads me to believe that this entire event all of the things going on in this arc might be some sort of elaborate ploy constructed by Orochimaru in order to sort of, like, train Mitsuki or push him in a certain direction. I don't know. It's an interesting thought, but I don't know where it's heading, to be perfectly honest. What I will say is both of these episodes were okay. For me, they were very middle of the road, and I was just expecting maybe just a little more from Ryuchi Cave. But it's not over yet. It looks like the next episode is going to involve Boruto and his friends going through a final trial in order to get some answers from the White Snake Sage. They're going to have to fight against some giant snakes. So, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it differs from the other scenes in the series where they fight against giant snakes. We're just gonna have to wait. I'm hoping that this arc picks up a little more after this right here, because I thought it started out pretty strong, and now it's getting kind of meh, in my opinion. Still very watchable, however, if you are a fan of the series, which is why I'm going to give both episodes a 3 out of 5. Fun, average episodes of Boruto that you should at least watch once. But those are my thoughts on the episode. I'd love to get yours. Tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of the Boruto anime series. Thank you guys for watching this review. I'll see you all again next time, and as always, stay dandy, baby.